Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, Bitcoin's price has continued its rapid growth, and on the 26th of June it went past $12,000 for the first time in over a year. Bitcoin breached the $12,000 level early this morning after mostly trading horizontally between $4,000 and $13,000, give or take, for the first few months of the year. Press time, Bitcoin is trading at just around $12,500, give or take a couple of cents, after having increased in value over 11% in just the past 24 hours. So there's a lot of, I don't even know what it is anymore. Depending on where you look, depending on where you're getting your information from, a lot of people believe that this is either a mix of rather, it's three things. Either institutional investors who are causing the price of Bitcoin to go up, as we had many instances in 2018 where we knew that institutional investors were simply buying over the counter. It was not affecting cryptocurrency prices as they were hoarding as much as they possibly could. And now it appears that other institutions who are trying to get into the cryptocurrency space are buying up cryptocurrency, whether that be through exchanges or over the counter, but it's still having a positive effect on the Bitcoin price. Or people think that it is simply normal, everyday people around the world who are buying up fragments of large amounts of Bitcoin or small amounts of Bitcoin, depending on where you are in the world, in order to get away from hyperinflation or inflation in general, or simply because of protests and stuff that are happening around the world where people are desperately trying to figure out a way to safeguard their money and continue to feed their friends and family and loved ones. Or the third option is that people believe that it's a mixture of all three, or rather those two combined into one. I have a strange feeling it's kind of a mixture of both of them. I think $10,000, as I mentioned many times before a couple of months ago, that was going to be the area where we kind of saw things really getting to move. I think it took like 4 attempts for us to even get over $10,000, and I'm like I said before in another video, I'm pretty sure you're all getting the exact same thing, all the texts and messages and all that other stuff with people who are trying to figure out how to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Like, they've been ridiculous. I mean, it kind of is what it is. I understand that people want to make money, or rather when they see that other people are making money, they kind of also want to jump into the market as well. But I told people about this, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, the point is, the way that Bitcoin is currently right now, a lot of people think that sometime today we could potentially try to make a move towards $13,000. Apparently, I think the resistance number that was being said by a couple of analysts, once again, depending on where you look, was a $12,600 resistance level. And then after that, I think it was like $13,400, and it kind of continues going on and on and on. But a lot of people are surprised that we have continued to move up, and it's mainly the people who kept on saying that prices were going to go down lower. I've seen a lot of people, I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter or on Reddit or other places around the internet, who are adamant that Bitcoin is going to go back down to $2,000. You know how many buy orders there are probably currently sitting at $9,999, $8,500, so many different levels going down that the price will probably never go below $5,000 ever again. Anyway, yeah, the Bitcoin price is up around 10%. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, Bitcoin IRA, a digital asset IRA company, has launched the first self-directed cryptocurrency IRA created through a partnership with BitGo Trust. The retirement account features $100 million in insurance protection, 30% lower wallet fees, and the ability for clients to diversify their holdings in 12 digital assets. As a self-directed investment, there we go, the authority lies with the account owner, who directs us on what to hold, said Dick Corcoran, CEO of BitGo, who left retirement to work on this partnership and product. The rules are identical to the traditional IRA. The only difference is that the asset of crypto instead of stocks and bonds, etc. Bitcoin IRAs began offering retirement accounts in 2016 and has built more than 5,000 hybrid crypto IRAs. Since launch, the company has processed over $300 million in digital asset transactions, according to its own figures. Without reading too much further, because it's not the most exciting thing in the entire world, I like the, what's it called? I like, The thing that got me really excited before was the fact that we were going to have things, derivatives or anything that was derived from Bitcoin are going to be based on the price of Bitcoin, or such as the movement bonds. Doesn't really matter exactly what it is. The major thing is that for those who do not know, a lot of people in our lives, a lot of our friends and family and coworkers and stuff like that, it's believed that they will never ever be able to retire, simply because a lot of the money in Social Security and all the other retirement funds that are being held by governments or issued or maintained by governments are going to run out of money over the next 10 to 15 years. That's not me trying to scare you to buy more cryptocurrency. That is just a fact. We've known these numbers for about a good 20 years. The people from 20 years ago who were screaming this out loud were completely correct. And now the money that we thought we had aside for retirement is shrinking very, very rapidly. There are documentaries, I'm pretty sure you can find them. First of all, try and find that thing about the 10 to 15 year Social Security retirement funds drying up. There's no money left, especially with the weird part is that people are now getting older. People live to be a lot older as well. And it is believed that with current technology that we have right now, that kids who are being born will have a average lifespan of over 100 years. So by the time from now and 100 years later, they'll still be alive, because the average lifespan will be anywhere from 100 to 120 years old. And no, it sounds ridiculous, but if you keep in mind that people a long time ago were only living to be the age of 30, look at where we are right now. The point is, the main stepping stone, or the gigantic stepping block stone, anyway, is going to be when companies start to get into the Bitcoin retirement space. Here's the actual website for Bitcoin IRA. This is not paid advertisement. I do not do this on this channel. I just wanted to kind of showcase exactly what they have and what they're planning on doing. Is very fascinating. When we start to see more of a shift from companies and institutions into getting into Bitcoin in any way, and I think the main catalyst, besides, BitcoinIRA.com getting into it, will be once major institutions for about a year or so have really solidified themselves and they kind of show their earnings reports. We've made this much money, so and so and so, Bitcoin futures, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I think this is when we're going to see other people start to also raise their hands and say, hey, we're thinking of also doing retirement accounts with maybe just, 5% exposure to Bitcoin, maybe, 4% to Litecoin, maybe 1% to XRP, whatever the actual case might be, depending on how they decide to do this. But this is very important because as people are going to live longer and people are going to want to retire, people are going to have to figure out another way to get money from or through their retirement, or in other retirement companies are going to have to figure out a way to continue to make money or earnings or profit when it might be a bit more difficult in the future as everything continues to dry up. So as we hear more about this, the bottom line comes down to is that they're also going to be buying huge amounts of Bitcoin as they're desperately trying to not only make profits, but I'm pretty sure they're also going to have the pressure put on them because people want to retire. Nobody wants to work until they're like 98 years old. I was watching something before. It was terrible. It was showing people, it was a guy in a, what was it? I want to say it wasn't a Costco. One of the stores that has greeters in front of it. And this guy was legit like 97 years old, and he was a greeter standing there, and his wife also couldn't retire, and she was standing, like she was working in the back of the shop, like breaking down cardboard boxes, and I just sat there like with a tear in my eye, and I was like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyway, it appears the coins that they are not using, what's the word, supporting, they have on their website at least Bitcoin, Zcash, Ether, Litecoin, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and Stellar Lumens. Probably have a bit more, but these seem to be the ones that they are heavily advertising. And the little BitGo Trust right here, so they're from the same company. This isn't me telling you to use it. It's more like a, this is a thing. It's going to continue to happen. And I think it's just absolutely wonderful because I would like parts of my family to be able to retire. I don't want to have anybody in their 90s not retiring. And it seems that the way that things are going to go is that people are trying to find a way to incorporate cryptocurrencies into these retirement funds. Let's move on. So here's a really weird one. People have been asking me for the last couple of weeks why there hasn't been any news on OmiseGo. Am I still bullish on OmiseGo? Do I still hold OmiseGo? Why am I not talking about OmiseGo? For those who do not know about OmiseGo, the point is that the OmiseGo team has mentioned many times before in the past that they don't like releasing news on a daily and or weekly, even sometimes a bi-weekly basis, simply because they like to focus on what they're doing. They said this in 2017 and also 2018, if I'm not mistaken. They feel like it is easier for them to focus with their heads down on the stuff that they're trying to build, as opposed to releasing news that may cause the price to spike. They said the last thing that they want is to kind of create these hype situations where they're constantly talking about things that are going on. We just released number 0.24149 so and so, and so. Like they like to be not secretive, but they like to kind of they're doing the opposite of what Tron is doing. That, if for those who didn't get that, that is the most obvious way of kind of saying it. Apparently, what completely missed the news, and I think a lot of people also didn't get, is that the people from OmiseGo launched an exchange called Go.exchange. It says the newly launched Go.exchange is rather interesting to keep an eye on, as this marks a major milestone for the OmiseGo team. Like I said, this wasn't anywhere. I found this randomly on this website, and I dug a bit further and found that it's actually a thing. So anyone who has kept an eye on the cryptocurrency exchange reports over the past few years may have noticed a peculiar trend. More specifically, there have been concerns regarding fake trading volume and potential price manipulation for quite some time. Proving these claims are true is very difficult, but it is evident a push for transparency is what the industry needs right now. And then they go on to talk about the standards, blah, 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 regulation. Where is it? This is not entirely surprising, as some oversight was long overdue in the cryptocurrency industry. However, the current measures and rules make life difficult for companies looking to operate in specific regions, such as the US. Go.exchange sees merit and additional regulation, as the company will comply with all requirements accordingly. For the time being, the platform will continue to restrict access to users in most US states. This is fairly obvious. This is due to most states having their own regulatory requirements at this time. It is expected the platform will become more widely available over time, albeit it may take some time to cover the entire US. Even so, it is a process which will be ongoing for the foreseeable future, making it worthwhile to keep an eye on. The other part is apparently they're going to be burning OmiseGo tokens. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Go.exchange is how there will be token burns. More specifically, the OmiseGo token, which is the native OmiseGo currency, will be the first burn. A total of 100% of the trading fees generated by the platform will be destroyed during the first 3 months of operation. Afterward, it will be up to the community to determine the future burn rate. It is also expected the team will introduce its own exchange token, known as the Go.exchange token, or GOT, or Game of Thrones. This will reward tokens for trading on the platform. The value of this token remains a bit unclear, as it will not be sold through an ICO or other fundraising methods. Here's the actual post from the OmiseGo team on medium.com, where they're talking about exactly how things are working, the fake volume, trying to get over it, trying to legitimize the cryptocurrency space, transparency and trust, regulation and compliance, and then the actual community burns right here. And here is the actual exchange itself. It's at Go.exchange, for those who were wondering. They have like a big thing here. Hey, we're live. This went unnoticed by, I think, many people. They're also doing a 20,000 OmiseGo giveaway on their platform. Yeah. I can't really tell you much more except for the stuff that I've learned over these 2 articles right here. But I feel like this was something that was also part of their original... not timeline, what's it called? The thing where they talk about the stuff that they're going to do. Is it timeline? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So here we go. They've officially launched their own cryptocurrency exchange. I hope that we get more news from this over the next couple of days, or that someone else covers this on another website, so we kind of get a bit more in depth as to exactly how decentralized it is. Is it meant to be a complete decentralized exchange? What are the kind of things that they're looking for? I know that the OmiseGo, or rather the Omise company, is a huge company in Southeast Asia. The creation of OmiseGo was meant to be kind of like a continuation of that into the cryptocurrency space. And I know that one of their main things is they want to unbank the banked, if I said that correctly, on their platform. So maybe this is another step with them trying to get people away from using banking institutions and simply using the Go.exchange as opposed to other methods. Anyway, this is what we know right now. Like I said, once again, they're not a very news-heavy company, cryptocurrency, whatever you kind of want to call them. Yes, I do still have OmiseGo. I still buy more OmiseGo. I like OmiseGo. I think OmiseGo is awesome. I remain bullish on them because they are part of the puzzle that's also creating the Plasma protocol for Ethereum, which will allow Ethereum to have 1 million transactions per second. And as they are built on top of Ethereum, they're going to benefit from these upgrades as well. Also, just like kind of what they're doing in the entire, you know, act of OmiseGoing. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, yeah. There we go. Let's move on. Next up, peer-to-peer cryptocurrency solutions project known as Liquidity has launched its interface for cross-chain atomic swaps between Bitcoin, Ether, and the stablecoin known as DAI, D-A-I, on the mainnet. The news was revealed in an official company blog post on the 24th of June. Atomic swaps are a solution that enables the exchange of one cryptocurrency for another without the need for a trusted third party or centralized exchange infrastructure. Liquidity is contributor-led, open source project that focuses on developing trust minimized and peer-to-peer crypto solution exchanges. It launched its launch of the Liquidity Atomic Swap Interface Alpha, okay, will now enable users to swap BTC, Bitcoin, Ether, and DAI. We're trying to say the letters, didn't work out, directly between their Ledger or MetaMask crypto wallets. In implementing the solution, Liquidity notes that users maintain custody over their own keys, thereby apparently eliminating custodial risks and maximizing their privacy and financial sovereignty. So the point is that this was a major thing in 2016, 2017, and is finally very slowly coming true. The idea is that we in the future will not have to rely on cryptocurrency exchanges or any other thing out there to be able to swap, use, send, exchange cryptocurrency back and forth. The idea will be is that you will simply be able to open your phone, however you're storing your crypto, and say, I have Litecoin and I want to swap directly into Ether because the store that I'm going into only accepts Ether. You'll be able to do it in about half a second through your phone, through an atomic swap. This was this was really major in 2017. It was like a huge thing. It's kind of taken a back seat as far as like all the other stuff and all the other infrastructure that people are trying to build. But it's nice to see that this is still happening. Yes, we will apparently. Remember I said all the other stuff that people were talking about that they said years ago and years ago that are now all coming true. This was also one of the things, and it's that in the future, within the next 5 to 10 years, atomic swaps will completely take over cryptocurrency exchanges. That's not to say that people won't be using cryptocurrency exchanges, but it's more so if you decide to swap from a crypto to another one, you can do so at will in a matter of seconds without having to rely on or send your coins to a third party, to a cryptocurrency exchange to be able to transfer your coins to another cryptocurrency. That's the idea of it. So now we apparently have one by Liquidity for Bitcoin, Ether, and DAI. And I think there also exists one between Bitcoin and Litecoin and Bitcoin and some other coin that I can't remember at the moment because these atomic swaps are never really in the news. Anyway, the point is, yeah, this happened and now we have it, and let's move on. And what I think might actually be one of the best news stories of the entire day, and I'll tell you why. Stephen Moore, I'll say Stephen Moore, who recently rescinded his bid to join the Federal Reserve, announced plans to start his own cryptocurrency-based mini-Fed, billed as the world's decentralized central bank. That is not a joke. According to Fox Business, a pitch deck, there we go, sent exclusively to Fox, allegedly said Moore was teamed with a group of unnamed entrepreneurs to develop a central bank, ironically called Decentral, aimed at reducing the volatility among digital currencies. The bank will attempt to regulate the supply of crypto, just as the Fed controls monetary policy in the US. It will exchange its own dollar-backed token for other cryptocurrencies and use an algorithm to control the amount of stablecoins in circulation, Decentral officials told Fox. This stablecoin is similar to Facebook's Libra and aims to promote uniformity and reliability among a fractured landscape of digital assets. He said, I'm really excited about this. I hope it makes me rich. That's what he said. Moore said he will officially join Decentral on the 1st of July as Chief Economic Officer and report to Sam Kaiserman, Decentral CEO. He said these guys are super smart. When I read that earlier, I almost had tears in my eyes because I love that, you know, like people talk on TV and they'll usually quote certain people as, you know, with the things that they're saying. The quotes that they got from him is, I'm really excited about this. I hope it makes me rich. These guys are super smart. He also told Fox he believes cryptocurrencies can circulate in the economy in such a way that they don't conflict with the Fed's monetary policy. He said this is an alternative way of making payments, Where's the other really important part? He said, Decentral will solve the biggest problem facing regulators when it comes to the crypto space, the current instability of pricing. He said, our goal is to be collaborative, the next big wave in crypto, blah, 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 blah. He said it somewhere, where is it? That he's not going against the Fed. He wants to kind of work with them in exactly what they're doing. The idea that someone is trying to, that means that none of them understand the core principles of cryptocurrencies, which is to not have a Federal Reserve anything. The point is to not have a centralized place called decentral, because I can assure you whatever they're trying to create is not going to be decentralized, or they may have 3 nodes and they will control one of them, and maybe 2 other people in the company will also control one. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to end up working out. Anyway, the point is, I thought this was hilarious. Here's the actual thing on Yahoo News as well, where apparently this guy was trying to be a part of the Fed, and I guess his way of sticking his tongue out at them is to create a central bank called Decentral that is going to try and release or decrease the volatility of digital currencies while working with the federal government. Which means he's just trying to create, I mean, it says it right here. I hope this makes me rich. Anyway, I thought this was funny. I don't know if anybody else likes that kind of news story, but I thought that was great, because we've seen stuff like this so many other times before in the past. So many people who missed getting into Bitcoin or Ether or any other cryptocurrency when the prices were super low, or when they could have years ago. And you know these people, you know, someone told them about Bitcoin in 2011, 2012, and they laughed. They're like, we don't need that. We have paper money. And they're also trying to make a US dollar-backed stable coin to be able to kind of control the cryptocurrency market. If this does come to fruition, I assume it's not going to do very well. We don't need centralized services, nor do we need another Federal Reserve that is going to be backed by a digital US dollar. But best of luck to all of them in their digital endeavors. To kind of finish things off, Russia in another confusing everything. Russia is preparing for a decisive moment in its economy, the possible legalization of crypto trading, as reported by Ethereum World News. On the 27th of February, Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered that by the 1st of July, the country's lawmakers should have ready a set of federal laws aimed at the development of the digital economy, including determining the procedure for conducting civil law transactions in electronic form, as well as regulating digital financial assets and attracting financial resources using digital technologies. According to a report by the Parliamentary Gazette, Russia's Ministry of Finance and the Russian Central Bank are working on this issue and already have 2 draft laws ready. And although trading would be legalized, what it's still being discussed is a jurisdictional state of possession and use of cryptocurrencies as a means of payment, since the central bank opposes their legalization. We had news 3 weeks ago that apparently, I think, what was banned within Russia? It wasn't crypto. I know they banned Facebook coin. And then we had news, was it 2 weeks ago, that apparently something else was going to be banned, or something would not be legalized within the country. And then a couple hours later that day, we had news from TASS, which is like TASS, which is their local news, economic world news agency, whatever you want to call it, that apparently within 2 weeks, we would have some type of information. And now apparently Vladimir Putin said earlier this year that by the 1st of July, the country has to have something in place that regulates digital currencies. Russia is just as bad as India when it comes to like really giving proper information. I don't expect India to do it anytime soon. But maybe by the 1st of July, we'll have some type of information from Russia as to what's going to happen with crypto in their country. A lot of people are kind of bullish on this. They think that it might be very good news that even though it was written before that normal people would be restricted from obtaining large amounts of crypto, that just having more people around the world who are legally able to own crypto could also cause a further surge in price of Bitcoin. I mean, we'll see. It's all kind of weird. My hopes aren't high as far as the legalization in Russia, but we'll see. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Auspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, My, Keto Kitchen, Adobo, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Brady Niels, L. Doug, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, Crypto, Joe Moore, Hair Maroney, Carl Birchenoff, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Rai Rai, Yasha Harari, Amy Starsheen, Jeffrey Ramsey, Clara T. Snowden, Crypto Artist, Cold 3D, blah, blah, Crypto Artist, Cole G3D, Nicholas One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich the Third, RF Dusty, Cody, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Tom Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day, Jeremy the Photographer, Jim Gardner, Minting Coins, Arthur Yako, Nick Manjalavori, Anthony Charles, and Mick Kanik. Thank you all very much for your support. At the moment, the crypto market is Bitcoin's up, Ether's also up. What's the news going around right now? So we're near the $13,000 mark. Ish, give or take. We're moving. I mean, we're closer than we were before yesterday. A lot of people think that we could be having a little bit of a downtrend just to kind of push us back up. Apparently, there was, oh gosh, what was the bullish sentiment? There's a whole bunch of things happening with Ethereum right now. Oh gosh, what are they? Can't remember at all. I think a large part of it has to do with the upgrades that are coming, but also I think like the renewed interest in the entire thing as well. And I think the dates that we're also getting for the actual upgrades, because before it was kind of like, yeah, we're gonna get them, we're gonna have them. You guys just keep on waiting. But now it appears that we know the actual dates for when the upgrades are going to happen. Still, if you look at the screen, while the percentage-wise for the US dollar basis of all these coins, except for Litecoin, are green. The Satoshi value is continuing to plummet across every single coin. I had a friend message me yesterday. He said he was on Binance and he was shocked. If you look at the Bitcoin, or rather the Satoshi to all the other altcoin values, they're being decimated very rapidly. People are pushing as much crypto as possible, altcoins, into Bitcoin, and it's apparently causing this surge as well right now. A lot of people think that this could continue. No one knows what's going to happen in the future. Don't let me deter you from what your future plans might be or what they could have been. But I mean, look at the numbers. XRP down 7.6% Satoshi-wise. Bcash down 5%. LTC 9.9% compared to Satoshi SV down 8.57%. People are selling off their altcoins, pushing them directly into Bitcoin, while at the same time, people are selling off their fiat and pushing it into crypto. Nothing really else. Monero's down. I think they're trying to do something with, I think, stopping people from being able to mine them with ASICs. I think that was the news story for them. Not that fascinating, but it was kind of in the news as well. Crypto.com chain token is up every day. I have yet to see any news about them really happening. Quantum is also up. Yeah, why not? OmiseGo is also up. I hope that this is because of their crypto exchange opening. I mean, it is kind of big for a cryptocurrency or cryptocurrency project to kind of have their own crypto exchange. Besides that, nothing really crazy going on. Look at this. 6.4% down, 9.98, 10. Everyone's selling off their altcoins and pushing them just into Bitcoin. I don't want to say that I can't blame them. If Bitcoin is going to make a rapid rush to $20,000 like a lot of people think it's going to, there was somebody who said, grain of salt time, that he thinks that by next week Bitcoin could be 15,000. Grain of salt. Not even a grain of salt. I'm going to give you a whole bowl of salt. No one knows if that's going to happen, but a lot of people think that Bitcoin could be poising itself to move higher over the next couple of days, especially since we are having a very bullish outlook as the price did not go down after the weekend. Typically, like sometimes the price will go down on weekends and then kind of go up during the weekday, but it went up on the weekend and there was no real going down point. It just kind of kept on shooting back up. Anyway, very interesting times. It's very fascinating to see a green and a red across the board, no matter where you look. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. Very interesting times ahead. Yeah. As always, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.